here. We're doing good, by the way.
Just the brass to the play this way. I'll try to block it.
I'm sorry.
Wait, I'm not sure you're
Yeah, there you go.
That's so much removed.
welcome everyone. We have a tremendous honor today not only to pay tribute to Thomas, but all the veterans, past, present, future, that signed their names on the dotted line to serve us at any given moment. So without further ado, we're going to render final honors for Thomas. We have the Marine Corps Honor Guard here. We have the President Ronald Reagan, Marine Corps League Detachment 597 here to assist as well. So without further ado, I'm turning everything over to our fine gentlemen. We're going to pay honors. Thank you.
Order. Order. Eight. Fire. Eight.
Thank you all again for being here. At this time, I'm going to call the pallbearers forward. Gentlemen and ladies. Folks, what we're going to do is we're going to have you all stay where you are. Pallbearers are going to come. We're going to escort him into the chapel. We're going to take the route just down here to the end. We're going to come back up the corridor. And we're going to go into the chapel. Give us a few minutes to make sure that everything is set up. We'll welcome you all in at the time. We'll be entering either at the far doors or the front entrance. Thank you all so very much.
Arms. Present. Arms.
going the wrong way?
No, you're coming the right way.
Are we?
Yes.
They said to go that
There-
way. Okay.
This is fine.
This is okay?
David.
Planned on it till this morning.
That was high for me. Okay. Yeah.
Well, it's the first time I've been at some kind of a military ceremony.
Really?
So I figured, I'm gonna go and see how they do this. Pardon me? I'm gonna go and see how they do this. I only see that in the movies. Or
Well,
on television, on the
they were a
news.
little slow in floating that flag.
Yeah, it took a little while.
Usually, yeah. That's, because usually we can do it really,
Yeah, I was thinking, but isn't sticker truckable about it?
yeah.
This is gonna fight it out. Fight the wind.
Well, the wind was blowing a little bit, but that didn't make it.
And so you pull it tight, you hold it,
Yeah.
and the last one will should have been over the head.
You should have taken charge.
Yeah. I wouldn't say anything. They didn't ask me to pull the flag, so thank God.
Yeah.
It's an open casket.
I never see my friends do it. I'm
Yeah.
out here. I never do that. So I don't remember it that way.
Yeah.
Good to see
Good to see you.
In the, sitting in the corner of the jacuzzi, yeah.
Yeah.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas to
See you
you.
in the new year.
Yeah, you
I was
should.
thinking about getting a waterproof can in underwater somehow, writing his name.
Well, there should be a plaque on the
Let's just,
on the
let's
seat.
just go do it ourselves. They don't know how to do it.
Yeah, they.
It's not like they go, it's not like they go out there and.
No,
check it.
no, we have to know what they want. They know how to do it.
Yeah, but they'd probably rip the plaque up and sell it.
Well, they won't even know.
Just do it, you get a,
Yeah.
put it in there and, you know, put a vest on. And then we're gonna go with it, so we're gonna work on it.
Well, they make some nice little plaques. Cause up where I go fishing, somebody's daughter got a nice plaque on the rock, you know, in memory of her dad, cause that's where he fished all the time.
Well, well, he was.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's a sort of uniform.
Oh,
What's a sergeant with just three stripes?
Yeah.
What is that?
Straight sergeant.
Just three stripes.
That's the highest I ever.
What is a sergeant with?
Well, usually the staff sergeant, and then gunny sergeant, first sergeant has a star.
What is
Sergeant
three
major.
up, three down?
Yeah, that's first sergeant, yeah.
The Coletti.
Yeah.
He was a.
Oh, it's well, yeah.
Three stripes, was it three?
That's what that line was. Where is, I think it's down the hallway.
I never did.
You guys want to just Hi, I'm Melody. Yeah, nice to meet you. How do you
Oh my gosh, right? Anybody that knows Marion.
Oh my gosh, he's doing okay.
Yeah, probably, huh?
that was the first time I ever seen it.
Because the picture of him reading his girl's on his lap.
Oh, is it? Yeah. How fun.
That's not his uniform.
Down and then living back.
Well, my wife,
it's just for yeah, it's a special day where we have free events here. Yeah, that's nice.
Really? They said to stay here, they're doing this first. I started to, and then I saw one person, he said,
Microphone for the light is right on. So when people watch you stream, if that usually want to locate, just don't talk bad about it.
okay, is this live streaming, you said?
Yes.
Is there a way to do it, just go through Reardon?
If not, I can give you the link.
Thank you.
I know, right? This one's that.
I've only got video over there.
Yeah, a video yourself, text it to you. You should have that to the then you can share that with anybody.
One of the things that God said was, oh, maybe you're free with it. And then, no, I hope that's what I'm doing. Ladies, that's hot. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I literally, other than
She's legally blind.
She's not.
Most people.
Like the cul-de-sac cat.
there. You staked it out, you know where it's at. California.
Microphone's turned on.
Again, thank you all so much for staying and for being here with us today. God bless each and every one of you. If anyone would like to come up and say anything, please feel free.
I'll be one of the firsts. So, my mom and dad, they were absolutely incredible. They were incredible parents. They allowed a lot of freedom, for church and for a lot of things. I remember when I was 9 years old, my mom had bought a piano, and we were in Okinawa, and my mom bought a piano, and I decided, I'm gonna learn how to play the piano. And probably 2 years into that, my dad and my parents went to go see The Sting. And I don't know if you know about the movie The Sting. The big song from The Sting is The Entertainer. And my dad came home, and he said, son, I have a challenge for you. I don't remember the words, I'm gonna paraphrase. He probably just said, here, do this for $5, but I'm gonna paraphrase. And my dad said, hey, I want you to listen to this song. Now, the first thing I'm thinking about today, and that statement, is where did the song come from? Because we didn't have CDs, we had cassettes, and I'm sure that my dad did not have a cassette of that song. So my dad sang it, and he went do 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 do, and that's all he gave me. But I knew, because I had heard the song somewhere. I heard, because it's an old song, and I said, I think I can play this. He said, if you learn that song, I'll pay you $5 if you learn to play that song. And So I said, all right, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to learn that song. And I learned it, and then I said, hey, Dad, probably about, I don't know what it was, maybe 3 weeks later, I was really anxious to get a hold of that $5. So I probably worked at it very hard. And went to my dad and said, Dad, I want to play something for you. And he's okay. He said, let's hear it. And I went and I played it. It wasn't no, if you know piano music and you know like ragtime music, Scott Joplin and things like that, you know they're not simple. So I played a very easy rendition of The Entertainer, probably level 1. But I played it and I earned the $5. I got the $5. So I like to play that for you. I know this is a time of, it's a time of sadness, and it's a time of recollection, and it's a time of remembering. And so I like to play that song on the piano for you. I've kind of fixed it up a little bit, but I like to play that for you. And I gave my dad a challenge. This was probably 3-4 years ago. I have a video of it. I don't know where it's at. I shared it with the text group or whatever. But I told my dad, I said, tell you what, Dad, I'm going to give you a challenge. The challenge I have for you is I'll pay you $5 if you can learn how to play Amazing Grace. And my dad says, $5? He says, I want more. I said, no, man, whatever you offer, it's equal deal. He says, I just want you to play that. And, he called me over. I came to visit, and he said, I want you to hear something. I said, okay, let's hear it. And I recorded it. And my dad sat down there, and he started playing it. And then he played some other songs. Mary Had a Little Lamb and Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. And I said, that is very cool that my dad that he took the time to do that. Those are some great memories, because sometimes things like that are the things that we need in our life to encourage us, to keep going and just just to know that you're loved. When somebody not to pay the $5. That's not it, but because it's your dad, or your mom. And through the years, I've been playing for a while, and I just owe everything to my mom and dad. And cousin Paul is over here, and I used to go to his house and I used to play their piano. Every time I come across a piano, I play. But every time I would play, the memories of my mom and dad encouraging me to do that. It was never, I'm going to do it, because it was always because I was encouraged by my parents. So I'm going to play the Entertainer for you. If you want to get up and dance around, you can, I suppose. But I'll just play it.
spent listening to his life story. I was always impressed with his determination to get things done. He shared with us his time in the military and all the challenges he dealt with in his career, his travels around the world, and how fortunate he was. How fortunate he was to have the love of his life with him in those many deployments. How proud he was of Jo, because she never complained, just took care, great care, of the home front while they were deployed. He loved telling how he met Jo and how he pursued her, because he knew she was the one for him. Tom attended many grief support groups, 4 that I know of. I believe there may have been more. He sought comfort there and in playing golf with his friends at the military golf course in Fort Hueneme, going to the gym almost daily, participating in events at the senior center, and taking his shut-in Eddie Santos with him at every opportunity. Enjoying bingo on Thursday evenings with his many friends. Tom never wasted an opportunity to say the rosary. The one fight he struggled with after losing Jo was depression. God knows how hard Tom worked to deal with his grief, but that one was too tough even for Tom. Now, buddy, your battle is ended. You'll reunite with your beloved Jo. You will at last find comfort and peace. Thank you, my friend, for walking with us as we each endured the absence of our loved ones. Tom, your companionship during these last 8 years was endearing. Thank you.
Well, I'm going to have to follow up. He's the leader of our grief group, and he has done this a lot more than me. A lot of my public speaking has been, okay, look at my design, you guys got to buy it, it's the best there is in the world, and that was a lot of my experience in my lifetime. I first met Tom and Jo St. Peter Claver. When they came, I've been in the Singing Valley for 65 years. St. Peter Claver. They always sat in the pew right before me or right behind me at St. Peter Claver. One thing I remember, Jo was always there on time.
Yeah.
She was always there. And if Dee and I, my wife, hadn't made it, she'd save a seat for us either behind her or in front of her. And then about maybe 5 minutes into Mass, here came Tom. Tom was always late. I never asked Jo why he was late, but he was always managed to be a few minutes late. I could always look down in the pew beside Tom. He had his rosary. He always had his rosary with him. And later on, cell phones, when they were popular, were cell phones. I got to know his firm handshake. I got to know him quite well. One thing, I might be repeating some things that Bob said, but I learned more about Tom's whole life than I think you people know. Because in the grief group, when we have somebody new come in, We explain what's happened, our life, how we lost our loved ones. I let them know that they're not alone. I remember every time Tom went through this, it was the same. He never missed a beat. All from the time he was driving up to see Joe to where her parents didn't, when they were sitting in a car, would hammer on the window. Things that he probably had not discussed with you. But the thing that really stands out in my life, and my being with Tom, is Eddie. I don't know if any of you here know, but Eddie was in our grief group. He had lost his spouse years before. And later on in life, Eddie couldn't get around too well. He was living by himself. He had a daughter that helped, but Tom carried him. He took Eddie everywhere. He went to Eddie's apartment. He just took him under his wing. And I watched that. I watched that happen, and I'm thinking, you know, here's this tough Marine doing, really, he gave a lot of his life taking care of this person. He took care of Eddie like he was a brother, or even more, I don't know, but I can, and he set an example for me. I know he missed Joe a lot. I miss Dee a lot. I want to be with her. But God has left me here on this earth to do what I can for others. And I've become a lot closer to God, not that I wasn't before, but I'm here for some reason. And I look at Tom. He's now with Joe. He's up there with her. Dee's there with them. I hope they're waiting for me. I think they will be. But I really miss Tom. Tom, we weren't real close friends, but we got very close in the grief group. Bob has done such a good job helping all of us that are suffering from the loss of somebody. And when you lose your spouse, I've lost all my family. I'm the last in my family, but losing your spouse, I was married 61 years, and Tom didn't have to take care of Joe too long. Not too long, but I took care of my wife for 5 years. But it was a blessing that she didn't suffer a lot, and Tom didn't suffer a lot. I noticed, I've worked bingo for 49 years, and when they moved here, Tom started coming. And that lady right over Marianne on the end, God bless her soul, drove for 2 hours to bring him to bingo. And she didn't have to bring him because he was driving, but she was there with him. I got a lot of hugs because when I left, I'd tap him on the shoulder and I'd give her a hug. And then I'd say something about her taking care of me. Boy, did I get a look. and I told her, I said, he needs to use a cane. The last, I'm going to say last 2 months, last 3 months. I said, he needs to use a cane. She said, I told him that. And I know what she was going through. No. But I look at the pew in front of me when I'm at church on Saturday night. When I go on Saturday night, Dee's Mass is on Saturday night, first week. And I think of Tom being there. Every time I see a yellow shirt, I think of Tom. I told somebody, I think he sleeps in that thing. That was his favorite. He wore the yellow shirt, and now I wear a cap normally. I didn't wear it today, and I think I'll remember that. But I remember him with his shirt. But he sometimes when he got up to give his little talk at the grief group, you'd say, "Uh-oh, here it comes again." But it was always in detail, and it was the same. He never missed a beat. And he really loved Joe. But he missed her just like we all miss our spouses that have lost our spouses. We all feel badly. But Tom, I want you to give Dee a hug for me when you get up there. And I know you and Joe are going to have a good time. And thanks for everything you taught me and I learned from watching you. And I hope your family, I know they appreciate you, but when somebody's gone, you start thinking about things and you realize some of these things I might have done different, but no, you did the best you could, and he was a great guy. Thank you very much.
Anyone else?
I'm gonna try to keep it short so I don't start crying too much. But I just want to say that I don't need a stool. I just want to say that God is good. The last 2 weeks of my dad's life, there were two things he could say. You could ask him if he was in pain or if he was hungry, and he said no. And then I decided to say I love you, holding his hand, and he flat out just said, I love you too, Marianne. And I'm so honored and blessed that he was able to say that to me. Because you can see him. Sorry. You could see him trying to get voices out and nothing would come out. And when things did come out, it was muffled. So that was God. And I owe knowing this because my friend Melanie, I was telling her about it. She's like, yeah, that's God. God did that. And she's right. So God is good and I'm trying to hold on to that. Just I miss my dad. He was Meano.
Anyone else?
He was a really good man, and he loves us all. And I miss him. He was a really good guy.
A lot of people just remember, a lot of people have talked about how fun my grandfather was to me. And he was. But the thing that I've always remembered about him and known about him is that he wasn't scared of anything. And I think that's because he always knew that God was on his side. And he believed that he was going to get in heaven. I don't think he was scared of death. I think he lived his life the best he could. And he made an impact on everybody that he knew. And I think that's what he was my best friend.
Hi, so I'm Bill. I date Tom's daughter, Marianne. I met her 4 years ago, a little over 4. After my divorce, I was praying to God that He would bring somebody into my life who was wonderful, beautiful, everything I could ever possibly want and more. And He did. She's loved dearly by my family. In fact, they told me that if we break up, I have to move out. True story. briefcase, and that briefcase was a manila envelope that had a stack of paperwork. He said, Bill, I used to work in intelligence, and I made a phone call. I have everything you've ever done. I went, wow, I've done a lot. I wasn't always such a great boy. But Tom does have had a wonderful sense of humor, and still does up there. And I'm glad to see he's back with his wife. I'm very impressed with his family and how he raised them. Each of you have grown up to be just wonderful people. I wish you'd go kick my sister's rear end, because every time she looked at me when I was little, I burst into tears. But I just want to thank you guys for accepting me into your family. As stupid as I can be, I try. And Mary Ann's just been wonderful. And I have another daughter that I want to trade in and get rid of mine. I like her way better. No, I love each and every one of them, including my own kids. And I've got another one over here that I adore, and a granddaughter. I've got 4 grandkids. I'm sure Tom's on with his mother, his wife, and you guys will all be very happy one day when you're reunited. But hopefully it's a very long time. Thank you very much.
I need a stool. You're making fun of Mary Ann. One thing, there's lots of stories about Dad. The other night I was sleeping and woke up, I don't know, maybe 1 or 2 in the morning, and I just had a hard time going back to sleep because I was like, wow, I only get 2 or 3 minutes of whatever to say in front of the church. And I was like, I could do this for days. We actually have been pretty much everywhere as a family. Dad obviously was a Marine, 24 years. I thought it was 26, maybe it was 24. And I was born in Philadelphia. Some of the things that Dad and I have in common, which I think kind of build that favoritism up, right? I mean, Marion, sorry. But there is Philadelphia. He was born in Philadelphia. 6 months after that, down in North Carolina. I think 6 to 9 months after that, out at Camp Pendleton for a while. Fort Ord, we lived in Fort Huachuca. A lot of those places are army bases, and that's where he learned his language. Some of them were German. It was on the old reel-to-reels, where they would teach the German course or whatever he was learning. And it was always a blast just to be able to go back and rewind those things for him, because he would listen to them for hours and hours and hours just to learn what he had to learn so that he could use that, whether it was in Vietnam or whatever capacity he uses languages in. We've traveled a lot. We've been to, I graduated high school over in Okinawa. One thing I will share, very similar to chess, is I played racquetball. Played racquetball for about 40 years. And I learned when I was 10 years old. And Dad used to say, all right, this is when racquetball used to play to 21. They don't do that anymore. He'd go, it's 21-0. You're ahead. And he would even let me serve first. And we would play, and I don't think it was until about, when I learned at 10, probably until I was about 16, I started scoring some points on them. 17, 18 came in, I said, okay, Dad, I'm going to spot you 10 points. That was a little too much at that time. He actually did still win that one. But there was a point where I was like, all right, I got him. I couldn't get him at chess, but I got him at racquetball. But I think it was because if you know him, he started to kind of limp a little bit, right? Because he would limp, and I said, Dad, go get those knees fixed. He would never do it. The pride in him just would not take him to the hospital to either go get a shot or get checked out. Well, I took advantage of that. So I only did that because it was like, all right, I needed to win one of these games. So I ended up winning one of those games, but it's funny because he doesn't forget it. I mean, to me, it's just another game. But he's like, I remember the time you beat me at racquetball. And I was like, okay, that's great. I remember the 75 games you made me do for that letter K. But anyway, the whole time with him was phenomenal. The other day I was thinking, man, what do I have any regrets? And actually I don't. There's none, because you think back and you go, oh, I wish I would have spent more time. I wish I would have done a little bit more with him. And I was asking my brother, Pat, I said, what was your perception of me? Because I always looked at those two where they could stand up to Dad. And I was always like a little bit just, he said what he said, it was over. And that was it. But Pat said to me, he said, you know, he goes, you actually were always doing stuff with Dad. Whether it was chess, it was racquetball, it was just sitting down outside the court, kind of talking about strategy on how to win the next game, getting into tournaments, doing things like that. He also coached our baseball teams, where we won several championships. He was a great coach. So I look back and I thought, you know what? I have no regrets. I've done a lot with him. I do hear sometimes people, I wish I would have spent more time with him. I think I've spent plenty of time and loved every moment of it, and I'm at peace at it. I know I'm at peace at that, and I know that he's down and he's saying, yeah, we had a good life. It was full of everything, anything and everything. So I'm glad that when he went, it was fast. It wasn't a long, lingering issue, and I was worried about that, because generally in our genes, Alzheimer's and dementia sets in. This was something a lot quicker. I'm just glad that it was fast. But yeah, no regrets on my side. No regrets, and loved every moment of it. So he's definitely going to be missed. He already is, and definitely well loved by everybody. Thanks.
Anyone else? All right. I hope that our pallbearers still have their gloves. If you do, please come forward. And I would like each of you to take one of the gloves and just basically drape it over the casket right here. Now, this is a symbol of your final act of kindness, your final favor that you did for him that cannot be returned. Your other glove can be held on to as a memento, as a reminder to you. Thank you all so much for being here. Again, thank you for staying, and I apologize again for the confusion with everything, but I appreciate each and every single one of you, and I appreciate that people came up to speak. I know it's not easy to do for everyone. Public speaking's not my highlight either, but here I am. So thank you all. God bless each and every one of you. Please get home safe. I'm not kicking you out immediately, but this does conclude our service. And again, thank each and every one of you.